Hi everyone, this is Sharon for Real Gals Fish. Just wanted to do another quick info vid on some different metal lures to give you an idea of what's available and how they work. Now the ones I've got in front of me here, the three different types. I have over here, these ones here are known as inline spinners. In the middle here I have jigs. And over on this side are known as spinner baits. I'm just going to quickly go over the differences and how they work so you have an understanding when you find them in your tackle store and you wonder what they're all about. So I'll pull this one up here. This is a very basic inline spinner. This shows you the construction. Now inline spinner is any lure or even a wire leader that has a blade, a spinner blade, affixed on the shaft by the means of a clevis, which is this horseshoe-shaped piece of wire here. And this allows this blade to rotate around the shaft of the lure as the lure is being retrieved. So you have a loop each end, one to affix your line and the other to affix the hook. And that is your inline spinner. So if the spinner blade is actually on the shaft of the lure or the leader, that's an inline spinner. They come in various designs. These ones here are very basic. If you want to add some embellishments on, you can. Here's another one I'll show you that's a little bit more decorative. Again, this is an inline spinner because your spinner blade is actually affixed to the shaft of the lure. This is a weighted inline spinner, and this is your weight here. This fish profile is actually the lead weight. You've got a bit of a skirt here, and at the end, the tail, is your treble hook. Treble hook's affixed by an O-ring, so if you want to remove the treble hook and put a single hook on or a double hook, you can do that. Now remember what I said in one of my other videos, if you're going to switch out hooks, try and keep the hooks in proportion to the size of your lure. Otherwise, if it's too big, it could affect the swimming ability of the lure. Now over here, we'll go to these ones next. I have what's called spinner bait. Now spinner bait is a little bit different from your inline. Your blade is usually hanging off one end of the metal lure. If you look very closely, you see this. It looks very similar to that of a safety pin. Probably how it got it started. But that loop in the middle here is where you tie your fishing line or your leader. And one end you'll have the hook. This one you can see it's got a clip on it like a safety pin, so you can take the hook on or off, put whatever you want on it. And down here, affixed by an O-ring, we have the spinner blade. Some of them come with little propellers or little paddles down here. And again, it does the same thing. It's all vibration, it's all sound to help attract fish. It mimics the feeding of bait fish. The blades produce like a buzzing sound or a whistle sound. So sometimes these type of lures get the name buzzbait or whistle bait. Again, they come in various levels of decoration. Here we've got, this is another spinner bait. Looks a little bit like kind of like a crawfish or a shrimp. Now this hook is actually affixed to, and it's a single hook. It's quite a large hook. It's actually affixed to the end of this lure. But again, we have our blade that flutters and spins around. It's all to do with vibration and sound. Now, one of the things I'm going to quickly just mention regarding any baits that spin, when you're affixing them to your main lines, you may want to consider using a leader, attaching to a barrel swivel, and then use the barrel swivel to attach to the main line. Now, why do you want to do that? Well, spinner baits have a tendency to twist the line because they spin when they're being retrieved in the water. You don't really want to get a twist on your main line because when you do that, it can cause a problem when you're retrieving. It can get tangled. It can also damage the line. So you don't have to. You can hard line straight to the lure if you want, but sometimes it's just better to use a leader attached to a barrel swivel than attach it to your main line. It allows your lure to swim more naturally. Okay, so now the third one I have here, these are known as jigs. Jigs are very popular and commonly used in ice fishing, though they are used in soft water fishing. They're meant simply to be used off the side of a boat or off the side of the dock. They're more effective if you're using them in deep water. And I'll just pull this one off. You see how thick this jig is, because it's meant to be heavy. You just throw it over the side of the dock or the boat or down the ice fishing hole, let it sink down to the bottom, then reel it up to whatever level you want and start jigging in a vertical motion, up and down, making it jump. And that's what a jig is. Some jigs, like the two I have in the center here, known as Norwegian spoons, there's also Swedish spoons. You can also troll them like a spoon, but they're also designed to be jigged up and down in a vertical motion because they're pointed at both ends. And then you have the diamond jigs, very popularly used in ice fishing. You can put cut bait, artificial bait, or even live bait on any of these jigs if you want, or you can simply use them as they are and use the vibration and sound to try and attract the fish. So these are a quick cross section of 3 different types of metal lures. Again, inline, if the spinner is actually on the shaft of the lure itself. If you've got the triangle bent safety type pin lure, that's usually known as a spinner bait or buzz bait or even whistle bait. And then these heavy diamond shaped ones are referred to as jigs. And I'm Sharon. Thanks for watching Real Gals Fish. Until the next time, tight lines.
Well, y'all come back now, you hear?